Hi, I'm Chris Mentzer, Culinary Director at Rastelli Market Fresh, and this is your Fox Food Bite. Today we're going to be making a butternut bisque with a pumpkin bowl, and this is basically be the vessel for your soup. The first step is making our bowl. So what we want to do is choose the pumpkin that we want to use, and we want to cut the top off. You want to hold the pumpkin firmly and slowly cut through and get the top off. And you can see it takes a little force to get that done, but there's your top. So what we'll do is we'll take this melon baller, ice cream scoop, and slowly scoop out the seeds. So there we go, we have everything out of here. What we want to do is season this, because we want everything to be seasoned. So what I like to do is I like to brush it with a little bit of melted butter. I'm going to put a little bit of black pepper on here, a little bit of cinnamon, which goes great for the fall, a little bit of salt to taste. We're going to put a little nutmeg, and my favorite, I put a little bit of brown sugar on here to melt on. And that, when that cooks, that will really melt into the squash and give it to a sweetness. Just mix that all up. Place your pumpkin on the cooking sheet. And what we want to do is we want to bake this pumpkin at 350 for 30 to 35 minutes. If you're using a convection oven, you might have to play with the time a little bit. It might take 5 or 10 minutes less time, but you just want it to so it's nice and tender with a fork. While the pumpkin's cooking, we're going to start our bisque. So now we're going to add the walnut oil to the pan. I use walnut oil because it gives a nice nutty flavor for the squash. We're going to add the onion, get that going. So now when the onion's cooking, we're going to go to the squash, and once we have the skin off, we just want to dice it into a medium dice. Take the squash, add it to the onions that have been cooking. So I like to use Honeycrisp apples because they add a nice sweetness to your bisque. So what you want to do is just peel the apple, and you don't have to be perfect on it. You just want to get most of the peel off. Take the seeds out, rough chop, and we're going to just add this apple right to the bisque. Give it a little stir. So next what we want to do is add fresh thyme, which is perfect for this type of dish. So what we want to do is I like to use the whole leaves. So I'm just going to pull down on the stem and the leaves fall right off. And we're just going to sprinkle that in. You're going to do that with 4 sprigs. So now that we added our thyme, we want to add our vegetable broth. I prefer vegetable broth since I'm making a vegetable dish, but chicken stock is okay too. On the recipe I have 3 to 4 cups. It's going to depend. You can add a cup, depending on how this purees. I leave some flexibility for the amount of stock that you can use. So now we want to bring this to a simmer on medium to medium-high heat. You don't want it to boil too hard because it will reduce the liquid too quickly. So you want a nice light simmer until the squash is tender. And that can take anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. And that also depends on how big you cut the squash pieces. Now that our squash, apple, and onion mixture is soft, we're going to start blending. Oh, this is looking really nice. Really, really nice. So we're going to take our cream and we're going to just pour this right in. The cream adds a lot of nice rich texture. So now what I want to do is I want to season with a little pinch of nutmeg, a pinch of cinnamon, a pinch of black pepper, and a pinch of salt. Give it a quick whisk, blend in all those spices. So after 30 minutes, our pumpkin is ready. It's nice and tender. We'll take our ladle. We're just going to put a little dollop of creme fraiche. We'll also add some toasted pumpkin seeds and some toasted graham crackers. And then we'll finish it off with a cinnamon stick stir so your guests can actually stir the soup. So this gives us a taste. That is delicious. I'm Chris Mentzer from Rastelli Market Fresh, and this has been your Fox Food Bite.